It's like a little...
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. We are now live. For the second time. Tonight. I have finally a live show. No, I'm just giving her a hard time. Guys, we have a really cool guest tonight. We have nobody in chat right now because everybody was expecting it like an hour ago. But no, it's all good because this show's way too important. Now we have viewers. All right, guys, at normal show, but we have a really cool guest. We have a really cool topic, and we can hear her. She looks amazing, and so we're gonna go ahead and dive right into this, guys. Welcome into chat. Let me see if I can actually see chat. I can't actually see chat. Let's see. All right. So without further ado, Sarah, go ahead and introduce yourself to the crowd.
Hello, guys. Again, I'm sorry about the difficulties. I do not know anything about technological stuff. Even though I sell on eBay, you would think that I would know. But I've been selling for a little over a year now, and I just became full-time about a month and a half ago. And I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And Mercari was the first platform that I ever learned to resell my own stuff. And now, oh no, what? Can you hear me?
No. You're perfect. You're perfect.
Paranoid now. I tell my friends and family that they should do Mercari because it's so easy to learn. So hopefully I can help you guys out if I can figure out how to get to the chat.
Oh, yes. We have a lot of Mercari questions. And guys, this is going to be a really cool topic because I have, going full time, for me personally, I want to be on multiple platforms because I want to have multiple money coming in from different directions. And so I'm on Poshmark, I'm doing Amazon, I'm doing eBay. My last platform I want to do is Mercari. So without further ado, kind of tell me a little bit about how you got started reselling on Mercari and or all the platforms.
Yeah. So I started off, I was a couponer. My mom and dad, we grew up pretty well, but couponing saves us a lot of money. So I started doing it as almost like a sport. I would go and get 50 bottles of Tide for super cheap, and I started reselling it, which is illegal in some states, so don't do it if it's illegal in your state. But my mom still has a stock room. I'm in her house right now. We started reselling them, and we started on OfferUp and Letgo, and that's when they had just started coming out. And then I was like, well, we only have such a limited market here where we live. Why don't we start to sell outside? Because we were selling diapers and things that could fit easily in boxes. Tide, obviously, we didn't ship that just because it's risky. Don't want it to leak. And I started selling on Mercari, and it was so easy. And I was like, well, if I can do this with something that I get this cheap, why don't I go to the thrift store or find new revenues? And it just became almost like a drug for me, like finding stuff in the thrift store, adrenaline rush, and it kind of went from there. So I started on Mercari, and I actually got banned off Mercari for a month. They have some pretty tough rules that you definitely need to know before you start. So you go in and you read the user agreement, and I don't think anybody really reads that. You go, yeah, okay, cool. So I didn't read it. And next thing I know, I was banned for a month. And with a month of not having that income that I was used to, I go, okay, what now? And my dad had already had an eBay account. He never sold anything, but he was always buying stuff, always on auctions for all kinds of different stuff. I was like, you know what? I'll give eBay a try. And I followed a whole bunch of people on Instagram and got my feet wet. And I started off, I remember the first sales I made were like $12 free shipping, and the cost of shipping was like $10, and I wasn't making any money, but it was just the excitement to have sales. So it started from there. I actually just got an eBay message. My favorite, not. It started from there, and then I just started doing Poshmark about a year ago, and that's my least favorite, but we won't get into that.
Are you full-time, Sarah? Did you say you're full-time?
Yeah, I am. Here.
Nice.
As a month and a half ago.
So you said you kind of got started with couponing, and what we'll do is we'll brush over couponing a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about Mercari for the remainder of the show. But tell me a little bit about the couponing world, because it's a little dark for me. I I would love to walk in there and be that typical mom, but only I'm me, and get a bunch of stuff and just crush it. So tell me how does somebody get started in couponing, and kind of give me a little background story on that.
The couponing world has changed now from when I started 5 years ago. There's a lot of fraud that goes out there now, and big time arrest and jail time for people making fraudulent coupons. So I know everyone probably has seen extreme couponing on TLC. Then it's not all it looks to be. There's no coupons out there for $8 off a bottle of Tide. I mean, that would be great, but they just don't exist. So when I started, it was $5 off a bottle, which was great. And now I think it's $1. I don't do it anymore. On occasion, if I get low of something, we'll go out and coupon. But pretty much it's a lot of math. You'd have to get a piece of paper ready, and you can follow people. My best friend has a lot of followers because he started getting into the coupon game, and he actually does the math and the breakdown for you. So you would just go onto his Instagram page, and it would tell you exactly what to buy and what coupon. And, the coupons come out every Sunday. They're free. And we would literally, my mom, here we go, right here, still has her inserts. This is from 1 week. So she would get 20 to 30 of these inserts that you get free from the Sunday paper. And, on the spine of it, it tells you what date. And that's when you would go and look and say, okay, that coupon came out May 27th or whatever. And you would clip it from here. And then you go to the store. But now times have changed. I still recommend couponing. It does save you a lot of money, and you can definitely resell it. We had a yard sale last year, a church yard sale. It was $20 a table, and we brought our entire stockpile, and we made $1,500. And most of the stuff we had gotten for free. So
wow,
definitely a great return on investment there.
That is incredible. And it's it does take time to do couponing, right? Like it does take time to prepare.
Yeah, it does. Unless you're following people, there's a lot of coupon blogs out there and stuff that already do all that stuff for you. Grocery stores, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, all those stores. You can go on and just Google coupon blog, and it does it all. The hardest part is getting the coupons themselves, because some of them are not free. Some of them you have to pay $2 a paper or X amount. You can get them at the library for free. You can get them at gas stations, hotels. It's all about making connections. Like what we did was we went to a hotel, and all the people that left over their newspapers, we would get the coupons. So they didn't have to recycle them. But not everybody knows that. So a lot of people are out there spending $2 a paper, and they're not really making any money off of it. But
boom, you guys, on Wade's Venture Show, she's already given cool nuggets. You are making up that auto quality. I promise you. That. By the way, isn't it exciting that you're full time now? What did you do before? Are you right fresh out of college? What made you go full time reselling?
It's a complicated story. I lived in Rhode Island for 8 years. I went to school there. I got my master's degree at Johnson & Wales. And when school was over, I was still kind of selling. I was selling on Mercari, but wasn't making any kind of full-time income. I was a waitress at a comedy club. So that was my job. And I lived up there with no friends or family, really. After college, everybody moved away. So my family is from Maryland, and my grandfather passed away in October. And I realized that it was time for me to come home and be with my family because I had missed out on so much. So I quit my job, and I moved back to Maryland. And it's been an adventure. I moved back a month and a half ago. My parents both smoke cigarettes. So I had to buy an office trailer so I could keep all of my inventory. And it sits in the backyard. So it's definitely just a new way of getting used to things. I'm used to bringing them in the house and having my Mac, and then my Mac blew up. And it's just, it's an adventure. I mean, it pays the bills, and I'm doing okay so far. I could definitely be doing better if I wasn't lazy. I have a big desk pile, as they call it. I like to call it a money pile. I mean, the fun to me is to go thrifting, to find the stuff, and not to list. But I know you got to list it to sell it, so.
Yes. Just like finding the coupons before you can go out and get all that stuff, you have to find the coupons. Same thing with reselling. Well, so this whole show is about your experiences, and I appreciate you coming on board and telling us this, because I have it downloaded, and that's it. I haven't gone past that. So give us what you think would be the beginning stages all the way to the end of the important stuff that we should know about selling on this platform.
Mercari is super easy, especially if you sold on eBay or Poshmark or anywhere for that matter. It's very similar. So it is an app on your phone, and you download it. You can also use it online, but I don't think you can you can purchase off of there. So the app kind of comes up, and it looks like this. You guys can download it yourself. I don't know where the camera is on this. Oh, here we go. What I like about this app is that it tells you right when you log in what's sold in the last 10 minutes. So there's also a trending thing too. So you can see what people on Mercari are really looking for. So what I started out selling on Mercari, well, more often, is ceramics. And I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with Ray Dunn. I'm sure you guys are. Her pottery sells for buku money. So there was a time last year that a cookie jar was selling for $100, and you can go to the store and buy it for $12.99. So that was the hustle and bustle for me for a year of doing that on Mercari, because I started getting followers. It's similar. It's like eBay and Poshmark had a baby, is the best way to describe it. So it's so simple. You get the app. There's a button down at the bottom. It's orange. It says sell. You can't miss it. And you take all the photos on your phone, and it's simple. It's up to 8 photos. You just put them right in there. You have to make a title. The title can only be 40 characters long, similar to eBay. And then you have to make a description. And the description has to be at least 5 words. And then you can use hashtags if you want. I don't do that. I don't know if people are looking for hashtags. I'm not sure. Then it asks you the category, similar to Poshmark, the brand. That way people that are searching the brands, that'll come up. Ask the condition, new, light, new, good, fair. You can even sell poor things. There's people selling Tory Burch, like, beat up shoes, and they're still selling, like, religiously. Because I'm looking for a pair for myself. Size 9, if anybody has those. Not beat up. Okay. Then it asks you for your zip code, and that stays in there. So you don't have to keep retyping that. It knows that. And then the best part about Mercari is the shipping. And that's why I use it. So you can ship up to 150 pounds on Mercari, which is crazy, via FedEx. I think it costs, it's a decent amount of money to ship that much. But 150 pounds is going to be costly anyway. So I think the ratio is 30 to 40% off retail. If you're doing first class, it's $4.25, but they also give you the option to ship it yourself. So you can either go to the post office and do it, or you can buy a prepaid label. I'd rather buy the prepaid label so I don't have to stand in the line unless you have a stamps.com account. I don't know how to do first class online through the post office. But anything else, you're not going to ship 10 pounds for $9.80. You can either do it, they have 2 options. You can do FedEx or you can do the post office. It's FedEx ground, so it does take longer, but it will tell you right on there when you choose, hey, if you do FedEx, it's going to take 5 to 10 days to get to your buyer. And they have the option too, the person who's buying from you, they can select the speed. They can either pay a little more for the shipping, or they can pay the cheaper and wait more. It's totally up to them. And to you, you don't have to use FedEx or UPS. The FedEx for me, post office, is kind of far. So I prefer the post office, but you could do both, or you could do just one. And then that's it. You set the price. They take 10%, and it's live. And another great feature that Mercari has is that they have, similar to eBay, is saved searches. So if you say you're looking for Tory Burch shoes, right? You just type it into the search, and you hit save this search, and they'll send you emails and alerts when those things come up. So what I like to use Mercari for more than selling is to buy stuff, because there's tons of people that have no idea what they're doing. Like I said, it's a newbie app, so they're not out there trying to get money. They're just trying to get rid of their stuff. So I have a girl on here that I've been buying Lululemons from past 6 months. She's a very wealthy lady. She doesn't care about money. She sells me her Lululemons for $3 a pair. She doesn't care. So it's great to source off of as well. So it's a win-win either way.
Do you do sometimes source off Mercari and then put it on eBay?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about. Now, somebody asked, is Mercari clothes only? But it sounds like you can do pretty much anything you want, right?
Yeah, anything you want. Like I said, they are pretty strict when it comes to restricted items. So you can't sell like vitamins or like Aleve, like drugs over the medicine or over the counter medicine, but you can sell food. I've sold Starbucks coffee on there. The holiday editions do really well. As soon as you list them, they sell. People are looking for that stuff, especially during the holidays. I always pick that up on clearance. You also can't sell anything that's fake. I mean, that's pretty much a given. They do have moderators like Poshmark, and they will go through, and if they see something's fake, they will delete the listing. And you get like 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing. They'll give you a couple warnings, and then they'll ban you for a month. And then if you do it again, it's 6 months. Luckily, I didn't get there. And then they will ban you forever. So don't do that.
Yes. And now tell me, how did you get banded on Mercari?
I source a lot from TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And anyone who's familiar with purple tags, most of the times they have the red security tag on the bottom if you want to return the item. Well, this girl bought a rag and bone top for me, and I cut the Marshalls tag off, but I didn't cut the red tag off, and I don't know why I didn't do that. I should have, but the girl said that it was stolen merchandise. And I was like, it's not stolen, because right on the red tag it says cut at home removal. And I went back and forth with them, and their customer service is not the best. But I was like, it's legit. I'm like sending them pictures of other red tags, and it eventually got squashed. They let me back on before the month's time, but I was a little mad at them for that.
So tell me a little bit about how you get paid. So you list your item, you put it on there, and then how do you get paid for the card? So
similar to Poshmark, they have to accept the order. The tracking is all in there, which I love. So that's another great point, is that newbie friendly, is that if you don't have a postal scale, I started off with a food scale and it lasted me for the first year, and I didn't have to change a battery or anything. And then finally I was like, I should get a postal scale. But the things are 0 to 1 pound, so most clothing, and then 1 to 3 pounds, and then 3 to 10, and then 10 to 20. So you should probably, you'll have a good estimate to know how much exactly your item weighs. So the shipping is okay. You don't have to worry about weighing it. It'll track it throughout the app the entire time, and it'll send you an alert. It'll say, hey, that was my mom. Shout out to her mom. The tablet.
Oh.
Yeah, you could. I thrifted her a Tory Burch purse today for her birthday, and she's very excited about it.
Oh, by the way, guys, it was Sarah's mom's birthday yesterday, so wish her an amazing birthday. Oh, is that the purse?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, she has such a really awesome daughter, doesn't she?
Yeah.
But we know who's got the technological smarts in the family, though, right? Because mom had to help out with the live stream.
She doesn't even know how to use her email, though. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So oh, go ahead.
Person's address, and it'll alert you, and it'll say action required. Rate your buyer. So it's a 5-star rating system. 1 being obviously bad, 5 being the best, and that displays on your profile similar to eBay. And you can leave a comment. It's optional. You don't have to. A lot of people just put 5 stars, and that's it. So it'll prompt you through the whole thing. It'll say rate your buyer, it's been delivered, and then that's it. Money goes into an account on Mercari, and then you can transfer it out whenever you want. It takes 1 to 2 business days, but it goes directly into your bank account of your choice, and you can change the bank and do as you please, just like Poshmark.
Now, does Poshmark has Posh Ambassador, and then you've got top rated seller for eBay. What does Mercari have?
They don't have anything. They just I think it's really based off your rating. They don't really do anything. There's people on there that have 1 star. People on there, I have almost 400 stars. It's just, and it's cumulative. It's per rating, so it's not okay. 5 people give me 5 stars, and now I have 25. It's 400 people gave me ratings. I have 400.
Okay, so basically you go to, if you want to buy something, you basically rank it off of how many stars they have, depending on how good they are.
Yeah, I mean, I I bought from a one-star seller before. You know, you take your risk.
You take your risk. Yeah, that's funny. So how does what happens, let's say, what happens if there's an issue, right? Like for eBay, you open a case. For Mercari, how does that work? If there's an issue with you and your buyer?
It's the same way. They can request a return. And if that is the case, like I've only had a couple, like things arrived damaged. Most of the time I could work it out with them because most of the time it's priority and it was insured. So they would just, file a claim and everything was okay. But in the case that something does get returned, it goes through Mercari, similar to Poshmark, where there's a moderator. They say what the issue is. You can comment back. And if they do side with the buyer, they will return your item free of charge and then issue the refund.
Oh, wait, do we have to pay? Like, let's say I ship something and I didn't disclose something, right? And then do I pay the return shipping or just Mercari?
Mercari or the seller.
Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, I mean, even if it's my fault, I don't pay for the return shipping. That's really interesting. Let's see. Uh-oh, I think we lost Sarah again. Sarah, are you there? Sarah, we're just getting into the juicy stuff. Miss Sarah. Guys, she worked at a comedy club, so she is extremely funny. I'm wondering if she's there. We'll see. Can you guys see me, or am I frozen? Maybe I'm frozen. Can you hear me? Oh man. Hey Wade, what's going on, Stitch Witch? How are you? Most time. Okay, can you guys see me by chance? Oh, you are good. Okay, good. Okay. Hear you. We can see you and hear you loud and clear. Thank you guys. So let me send a text to Sarah real quick. All right, let's see here. Sarah, you are frozen. Okay. All right. So guys, in chat, those of you who are watching, I know it's been a crazy day, but how many people are on Mercari right now? Please let me know. I'm curious to see if you're selling on there now or if you're thinking about selling on there. But let me know if you're a Mercari reseller. I'm really curious. I am serious about doing Mercari. I like it because I can cross post. So I'll put it on eBay and then put it on Poshmark and then put it on Mercari. And so I think I want to do men's clothing only on Mercari. Like I have a pile of vintage men's clothing, a stack of Mount Rushmore in my living room right now that I'm going to list. And that's why I really want to get into Mercari. So I started a month ago and I've sold a few things. I buy and sell. Haven't tried it. Mary hasn't tried it. Pac-Man, have you tried Mercari? I don't know. But basically, guys, because I've been reselling full-time now for a month and a half, and it has been fantastic, but I have noticed that I wasn't necessarily prepared on eBay because most of my stuff is clothing, and that is a little bit slower now. Although I am selling, it is a tad bit slower. So I do want to venture out to 3 different platforms and then get ready for fourth quarter. That's my main goal, is to get ready for fourth quarter. So I want to have 1,000 to 1,500 items on Poshmark before fourth quarter, about 3,000 to 4,000 on eBay, and then about 1,000 on a different site like Mercari. So if you sell on eBay, you should sell on Mercari. Yes. Where am I from? I'm from Oregon, guys. I'm in Beaverton, Oregon, Nike. So I can throw a stone at Nike headquarters. So Sarah, I think, is coming back on, but those of you who've done Mercari, she said that 1 ounce to a pound is the same weight, the same cost. So what would that cost basically then? What is the cost of 1 pound to ship on Mercari? Those of you who have done it. Catching your live show for the first time. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that. This is an interesting live show, but she is amazing. She's really knowledgeable, and I can't wait to get her on when she has the computer too. So cross-posting between eBay, Posh, and Mercari started this month. Haven't sold a thing on either. eBay is definitely the main for me. That's for sure. Keep it up, lady. Keep it up. Keep posting. I'm sure you'll sell. What's going on, resellers? Flip Empire. What's going on, buddy? Let's see. They won't allow you to sell shoes on Amazon. I have noticed that some people has gotten ungated on Nike. I know 2 people that was gated on Nike. So, I mean, it's possible. I don't know if you're selling Nikes or not, but one tip that you can do, a lot of people, they think getting ungated on Amazon is like this, massive wall to overcome. And really what it is you can go to the manufacturer as long as you have your reselling license in most states. And if you have a business, just Google reselling license within your business. It'll pop up how to do it. Oh, she's back.
Oh my God, she's back.
She is back. Okay. All right. This is making for a really interesting live show. Like, this is not. This is not. Don't worry about it.
We can see the stockpile in the back now.
That is pretty impressive. You're never gonna run out of soap. It looks like. Is that soap back there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuff when I walk past.
All right.
Lordy.
No, Sarah, real quick before we get started, did Mom help you get back on?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Mom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mom helped you get back on.
And the whole thing went black and it didn't die, so I have no idea what happened. It might have overheated. I don't know. But here I guess what happened.
It overheated. I feel like Mom needs a medal for this one. Happy birthday, Mom, by the way. I think we said that already, but all right. So let's get into this, guys. I was trying to figure out basically so what is some tips and tricks you can get from Mercari? Because I've heard a lot of people say that eBay is so saturated that they're considering on selling to Mercari. So give me an idea of like some tips and tricks for Mercari that people are looking to sell on that platform.
They just had like a new feature called the promote button. So it's almost like make an offer to your likers, but it's different. So they'll take 10% off of your listing price, and it will move it to the front. So if someone's searching Lululemon and you posted 3 days ago, it goes by date. They can go in there and search by price or whatever they want to search by with the filters. But when you hit the promote button, it brings you back to the top, and that's the first thing buyers see. So it's, again, like Poshmark, you can like an item, and when you promote it, it alerts them and says, hey, the seller just took 5%, 10%, whatever you choose, off this item, get it now. And sometimes Mercari will even help you with the shipping. It'll say, all right, half the shipping price, and it'll be on Mercari. It won't be on you. They'll do it just to promote you and promote sales. So I definitely recommend that. Once I get something that has 10 likers, I'll hit the promote button, and normally it'll sell within the hour. So I'd say that. And definitely check out the trending. There's not a lot of designer things on there. I really will throw anything up there just to try it. I bought 2 pairs of Ferragamos off eBay the other day. I really wanted them for myself, but they didn't fit. So I threw them up on Mercari, and I was like, I've never sold anything designer on there, but let me try. And within 3 days, they were sold.
Wow.
And for full asking price, too. And they can make an offer as well. Most people, you have to have a credit card linked. So the buyers can use credit card or PayPal, and it doesn't matter to you because you get the money either way. But if they don't have a credit card set up, you'll get a lot of times they'll message you and say, hey, would you take blah, blah, blah? And I'll say, oh, make an offer. Well, I learned trying to buy something, if you don't have a credit card set up, you can't make an offer. You have to have PayPal set up. So in that case, most of the time I'll just change the price for the person, and it'll alert them that I change the price, and then they buy right away. Most of the people in there are pretty nice. There's not a lot of low ballers going on. I mean, they're everywhere, but it's really not that bad.
So I'm curious. you said that they have PayPal set up, right? So let's say I send you I have PayPal and I'm the buyer. I send you an offer for $45. You accept. There is no waiting for payment. It's pretty automatic, right? I mean, I know that they have to wait for the item, but other than that, I mean, you ship the item out to them and on their end, I mean, the money's been taken out, right?
Yeah, they pay for it automatically, and you will get the money in your account as soon as they accept the order. Now, if they don't accept the order within 3 days, by accept the order, it's just saying, I received it. The tracking's already in there, but they have to hit, I received it, make sure it's good, like Poshmark, and then they rate you on that 1 to 5 scale. If they don't do that, there's a lot of buyers that don't know that they have to do that to get your funds released. You can always message them. The messaging on there is awesome. It's private, so nobody else can see what you're writing. It's like a text message thread. It's to one person and from the other. You can't use any emojis. You can't send pictures, nothing like that. Just very basic. I always message them and go, hey, do you mind accepting your order? And sometimes they're like, oh, I'm on vacation, blah, blah, blah. They give you 3 days. If they don't do that, then they'll release the funds. And they'll message you for that as well. Mercari will. They'll say, okay, it's been 3 days. We've rated you. They'll give you a 5-star automatically, and then the money will be there.
That's actually, guys, like, I have no idea why. I mean, I know why, but wouldn't it be amazing if you have an offer on eBay and they accept or you accept, vice versa, and then it actually, like, the money shows up right away where you can ship the item?
That would be great.
Yes, it would be amazing if we had that. Like, there's so many times I had to hunt down people, and I feel like that's not my job if they've accepted or I accepted an offer that they threw out, you know? I feel the bad guy.
One negative feedback on my eBay account, and I had to call and argue with it. The girl had sent me a best offer, and I accepted it, and then she did not pay for 7 days. And I have my automatic case open, and she got mad, but there was no communication. She didn't message me at all. I sent her multiple communications and nothing back. So she, after I canceled her order, she wrote me the nastiest feedback. She's like, impatient seller, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hello, eBay, like, can we get this removed? And they're like, yeah, that looks like buyer's remorse. So I was like, okay, thanks.
Yes, that's why I have an anchor store on eBay. It saves my life because I get, like, you know, dedicated care. And a lot of times I talk to the same people over and over again when I call. So it's really cool. When you get to that point and you have an anchor store, guys, like, it's worth it. Even if you're like, let's say 3,000 items and you're at the threshold of going into an anchor store, it makes it so useful just for that fact that you can call, save time, talk to somebody that's US based. Nothing wrong with anything else, but that being said, it's amazing. So I wanted to ask you about another question I have about Mercari is, like, you know, what if, like, what's the communication? Because I know on Poshmark, you basically, you email them. How's it like a Mercari if you need to talk to somebody? Do they have a phone number you can talk to? And before you answer that, we have Casey in the chat. Casey's in the chat, guys. So amazing rockstar flipper had his first live show that I was able to watch, and once ours died, and then we're back on. But anyways, Casey and myself and everybody's going to eBay Open, so I really hope a lot of people go to eBay Open. It's amazing. But anyways, go ahead and answer that. Like, how do you communicate with Mercari?
You cannot. That is one thing that would get you kicked off. Do not ask your email address or phone number. They don't want anything off Mercari. No offline transactions. You can't even meet up with somebody. So if somebody, it won't say the item location. Don't be like, hey, do you want to meet up? Because that will, they want their cut. They want their 10%. So don't do that. But it's a simple little button right under the item, and it will say message seller. And it's that direct communication I was telling you about. It's like an in-app text message, and you can communicate back and forth. After 2 weeks, the chat will close. So if you have, what I like to do is, when I was selling a lot of Redone, I had a lot of repeat customers, and I would always write a hand note in there and say, if you buy with me again, I'll give you 10% off your purchase. Just message me the code word, like hello or something. So I knew, and Mercari had no clue. But it's very easy to message people on there. That's exactly how I got that alliance for that woman telling me the Lululemons were so cheap. So,
well, and it sounds like Mercari is like really pushing, their platform. They're kind of at the beginning stages. It sounds like, the fact that they take care of shipping, even if it's my fault. That's huge. And 10% is actually pretty amazing for fee wise. I know that you can promote, but 10% to be on a platform. Do you know how many, you may not know this, but how many shoppers are on Mercari? I don't even know. I guess I can Google it, but
I don't know. There's a lot. I would say maybe the same amount as Poshmark. I really don't know. That would be an answer for Google.
Yeah, that'd be an answer for Google. Yeah. So how many items do you typically have? What do you think is a good amount of items to have on Mercari?
So my sell-through rate on Mercari is really high. I'd say that 80% to 90% of things that I list sell within the first week or two. I do have a lot of dead inventory on there that I could promote or whatever, but I've just honestly forgotten about it. Also, make sure that there's two options when you want to, they don't have a vacation mode, so that is an issue, but you can deactivate all of your listings. So they're not there anymore. Nobody can see them. Nobody can see your profile. You're just gone. You're a ghost. I made the mistake of deactivating a lot of listings instead of deleting them. And I was supposed to delete them. So when I came back from vacation, I reactivated all of my items and things were selling, and they had already sold on another platform. So I was selling things. I was like, I don't have that anymore. I don't even know how they got on there. So make sure you're deleting, not deactivating, unless you're going on vacation. But if you cancel a sale, they don't do anything. They don't care. And it gives you a list of reasons. You don't get any marks against you, no slaps on the wrist, nothing. So you can say, well, the item is broken, or I can't ship it in time, because they do ask you to ship within a 3-day window. After 5 days of you not shipping, the buyer can cancel, which is pretty fair.
So let's do a little recap for those who joined late, okay? Because I think this is really, really cool. 10% to sell on Mercari. And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but 10% to sell on Mercari, that's it. If there is an issue between you and the buyer, whether it's my fault, the buyer's fault, any shipping or whatever, Mercari pays for the return shipping. So even if it's my fault, I don't pay for the return shipping.
Yeah, I never have to pay for the return shipping unless there's something. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
but it's always been the seller or Mercari. So
that is amazing. Okay, and then the next thing is there's no Mercari ambassador, or it's all basically just stars, right?
Just your ratings.
Okay, and then we have a question from Thrifty Santa: is Mercari just for clothing? I think you can sell anything pretty much except pills and stuff like that, right?
No weapons, no fakes, no pills. Yeah. Everything else is fair.
And it sounds like they have a swift punishment, though. Banning you for a month.
Yeah, they give you 2 warnings, so don't mess up. Okay. The easiest ways are don't give out outside information. I've given my phone number out before. They have a moderator that comes in and looks through all those messages, and don't list things as if you're selling Lululemon or not Lululemon. Say you're selling Adidas, don't mark it as Lululemon. Exposure. Yes.
Now, do you prefer are there items you prefer to sell on one platform versus another? So is there stuff that you're like, okay, this is Mercari or this is eBay or how does that work?
For sure. So for me, I think Mercari does best with hard goods. So a lot of Pyrex, again, with the ceramic, with the Rajon, and I go that route because I know people are actively looking for heavier items on Mercari because the shipping is so cheap. If you go to eBay and you get a Rajon canister, the shipping will be $30. If you're on Mercari, it's only $12. So you know that people are looking for those heavier items to be cheaper shipped on Mercari. So anything like that, I've sold stuffed animals, I've sold pottery, I've sold glasses, things from my own purse in the house that I just wanted gone. I've listed it on there and it's been gone. Coffee mugs, just random stuff. People just want it. As far as Poshmark, I do trending stuff. Poshmark is my least favorite platform. I hate the sharing. Drives me nuts. And I get a lot of lowballers. I actually did more sales on Poshmark last week than I did eBay, which is probably the first week in a very long time that has happened. But I put all my Lululemon there. Lululemon does really well on Mercari as well. And I put all the trending stuff there, all the designer, and then everything else goes to eBay. eBay is my main source of income. I like to run auctions. I like to draw people into the store. So anything like that. But literally, I've tried to sell anything on Mercari, and it has sold.
I'm just okay. So, I mean, what I don't understand is this: why does Mercari have a better shipping system than eBay? I mean, you would think eBay, with the volume that they do, they can negotiate better rates or like simpler rates. Like, what's going on with that?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love Mercari, and I always tell people to do that because it's simple. When the app first launched, it was only the post office that you could use, and now they must have gotten a new contract with FedEx because FedEx, even though it takes longer to get there, the rates are cheaper by like a lot. So they're trying to push FedEx use because, I mean, I use the post office personally. So, I mean, I don't know how many eBay sellers are going off FedEx.
Now, sir, can you print off the same labels? I know that a Poshmark recently has it where you can print off the same size labels as you can eBay, so it makes your life so much easier. What about Mercari?
It's the same thing. They'll send it to you in a PDF form or a regular Word document. I don't know which one it is, but it prints out all my sticky labels just fine. So not an issue.
And so tell me about like the metrics. Like, is there a certain amount of metrics that you need from Mercari? For example, do they track your return rate? Like it sounds like you got to ship it within 3 days. Like, is there metrics that they want you to uphold to?
Just the 3-day ship time. By the 5th day they'll cancel, and the same in the hopes for the buyer to accept the package and rate within those 3 days. But other than that, to my knowledge, they never, I mean, I canceled a lot of orders when I got back from vacation, all the things that it sold. They never messaged me or anything like that. So I truly don't think that they care. I mean, they might have it, but it's not there for me to see. The only thing that says on my profile when I go in to look at my stuff is my ratings. I can look at my ratings. I can look at the comments. Everyone else can look at the comments as well. That's public view. And I can see my sales, and it breaks down each sale, how much I got. And that's another great thing too. You don't have to do, like Poshmark, you don't have to do the math in your head. When you do the listing price, if you list it $100, it'll subline it right underneath and say minus $10, you earn $90. So you don't have to, I mean, that's a great feature. And then it says your balance on the homepage, but that's it. Like, you can't, something else you can see. You can message past buyers, and after 2 weeks, they just delete. So, I mean, I can give you 2 weeks to do whatever you need, I guess.
How do they charge your shipping? How does that work?
They take it out of the you earn price. Okay,
so they don't bill you like a massive bill later. Okay.
You can charge the buyer for shipping. It'll give you the option. It's laid out very simply. If you look at the app, it'll say, who do you want to pay for shipping, you or the buyer? And you click which one. And it'll say, if you choose free shipping, your item is twice as likely to sell because everybody wants free shipping. And then you select the weight, and it'll take it out on the bottom. So for heavier items, I feel like most people understand that the shipping, I'm not going to cover that, and they have no problem. So that is total wash, doesn't affect me.
Now, I'll answer your question about the 1099s. Anything that you sell on the internet, anything that you gain a profit on, you're supposed to report to the IRS. But a question for you, Sarah, is I'm assuming they don't give you a 1099, do they? I mean, I don't.
And there's no lifetime earnings either.
Okay.
To my knowledge. It does tell you your direct deposit history, so you could add it all up if you wanted to, but it's not like Poshmark where it says, total earned in your career of selling on it.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume, but, just obviously to be safe, guys, I'm not a tax professional, but I would assume that anything that you saw online, you're going to want to probably report, but that's just me. So, and then we have Kim says, Mercari needs a bundle button.
Yeah.
What is the invite code when you first log on to Mercari?
Let me see. I have it. So each person is different. It's a referral system. for that. And when you do it, I think they give you $5, maybe $10 when you first sign up, so you can go in and shop for yourself, kind of explore the app, and then every person that you prefer, you get more and more money. But my code, it's kind of long. I don't know if it's long. It doesn't make sense. It's not a logistical thing, but it's a JQTWC9. I'll put that up on my Instagram page if you guys want to follow me. I'll put that link in my bio. And you can check out my items as well and see where I've sold in the past. And definitely check out the trending section, because I base a lot of stuff off that too.
That's so, guy. By the way, Sarah, what is your Instagram handle for everybody that's watching?
It's I want to be done, because I sell a lot of right done. DUNN. I want to be done.
Love it. And do they add relist option for multiple quantities yet? For multiple quantities?
I think they do multiple quantity. Relist, no. I've never relisted anything. You can always delete and redo, but like I said, using that promote button really helps, because it brings it back to the top and it changes the price if you have a lot of likers on it. You can only promote 5 items a day, and you can only promote every 36 hours for one item. That way you're not constantly flooding.
Now, is it good? I know eBay is good until canceled. That's what I use, just because I don't have, I've heard stories from both. There's pluses and minuses. I think people that do 30 days on eBay, that's a great way to do it, because what they can do is once the 30 days is up, they can go back to that listing, revise the title, change the price. They can. It's a reminder that item has been sitting there for 30 days, and then you've got, on the other hand, good until canceled, like me, when you have over 2,500, 3,000 items. I just don't want to be relisting. I would rather spend more time listing new stuff, not relisting old stuff. So, but for Mercari, how does that work? Is it there until it's sold, or just sits there, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's good till canceled, or until deleted and redone. It takes probably 2 minutes to list one thing. Once you already have the pictures ready, it's just a very simple boom, 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 boom prompt. So I never relist anything. Like I said, my sell-through rate is pretty high. I don't see the need to relist anything on that site.
Now, I would assume that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just gotten started on Poshmark, but I would assume that, oh, by the way, we have, can you give her Instagram one more time? And then also, can you give the invite code again one more time?
Yeah. My Instagram is Sarahmaccx with 2 C's and an X. So SARAHMACCX is my Instagram. And the invite code is J as in Jacob, Q as in Quinn, T as in terror, I don't know why I said that, W as in watermelon, C as in Connor, and N as in Nancy.
I'm putting your Instagram handle in here just so people have it. Let's see, MACCX. Okay, cool. All right, there we go, guys. Can you do multiple quantities on Mercari?
I'm gonna check right now. I only I don't know. I've never done a multi-quantity listing, to be honest.
Can you? Dolores said basically.
No quantity.
Oh, okay, no quantity. Okay.
No quantity.
How would that work though? If you have multiple quantities of an item, you just tend to do it multiple times?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I have 5 or 10 Jordan shoes, I have to list the same listing for 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't do multiple quantity things unless you're really diehard to want to do it.
Yeah.
Or 2 and wait for them to sell and then post 2 more.
Interesting. Now, being a small, give me your perception of Mercari. They're obviously a lot smaller than eBay. eBay just got the jump on all these platforms early on, right? But do you feel that you get more visibility on Mercari or eBay? I would assume that since Mercari is smaller, yes, they have less shoppers, but it's less sellers too, right? So do you feel like you get less competition?
Yes and no. I think people on Mercari really know what they're looking for. So I would say, eBay is makes me the most money. So eBay has the most lookers, and I don't feel like I have a lot of competition on eBay because, I mean, I know there's other people out there selling the exact same thing as me, but I try not to, like, I don't know, I let it bother me, I guess. But on Mercari, there are a lot less sellers. So I think maybe that is why the sell-through rate is so high and things go so quickly. I think it's definitely my age generation. People that are always on their phone. All my sales mostly come at nighttime. So it's somebody who cannot sleep and they're just scrolling through their phone and they're like, oh, okay, this looks good.
They're either at a comedy club or they're a zombie or there's vampire. One of the two, right? That is really good. First of all, you answered a ton of my questions, but I'm really curious. Like, what if I don't want to take pictures of my my merchandise via the Mercari app and I just have it in my phone? Can you do that?
Yes. You can upload from your library.
Okay.
Or you can do it directly on the app. Either way. Either way is just the same amount of time. And you can edit your photos on the app as well. Crop, whatever you need to do.
Interesting. Now, do you think that it's better to do, because I was looking on here and it doesn't seem like a lot of people do white backgrounds, probably because they're not like eBay sellers. They're primarily just Mercari. But do you do white backgrounds for Mercari?
No.
Or?
No, most of the time I think that people don't really care. I mean, I try to cross-post most things. Like I said, if I know that it's going to go on Mercari, I don't really cross-post. But I do like a simple background. Most of the people on there selling stuff, their pictures are really crappy. The girl that I started buying Lululemons off of, she would take a picture of the emblem, and that was it. Like, there was no other pictures. So, and she had no ratings when I first started buying from her. So I just went with my gut. I was like, this lady's selling her stuff so cheap. You know, like, why not? Like, what do I have to lose? So most of the time, there are no professional sellers on there. They're just people that want to get rid of their stuff. And I don't really think the pictures matter because people are still buying.
I feel like that's good because you have less competition.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not less competition, but just like the quality of your listings will be better, which equals more visibility. Okay, so do you have a bad sell story that turned good or just stayed bad on Mercari? That was the question.
I have 2 negative ratings on Mercari, both 1 stars, that happened a long time ago. One of them was a Kate Spade watch that I purchased for myself and just didn't want anymore. And it was tiny. It was a Metro watch, which is like the size of a dime. It's very small. And I did not put a tape measure next to the watch. So the person assumed that the watch was big. And when they bought the watch, they gave me a 1-star rating because it was small. But they never asked me how big it was. And I didn't disclose how big it was because I didn't measure it. But she couldn't return it. I mean, she probably could have, but she didn't try to. I'd say the return rate, I'm probably on 2 returns out of 400. So it's very slim, and they do tend to go with the seller, which is good.
Can you get negative stars or negative reviews removed on Mercari?
I'm not sure. I never asked. I didn't really let it bother me. There's, like I said, it's not like eBay where, like, if I got a negative feedback there, I would definitely want that removed and have to call in. If it happens on Mercari, they're not really serious. And it kind of evens out. The more sales you get. Interesting.
Now, what does your family think of you going full-time reselling? Like, what is your
no, they're amazed with it. My mom tells me every day. She's like, I don't know how you sell other people's used stuff. I mean, they're supportive of it. What
about your immediate or your not so immediate family, like friends, stuff like that, people, acquaintances? When you sell online.
They understand it. They think I live at a thrift store. I've got a lot of my friends actually to start becoming little resellers. So I give them, a list of brands, and I go, they enjoy to shop, and I go to the thrift store, and if you see this brand or this brand, you can send me a picture, and I'll say yes or no. And that got annoying, but I still help them out. And I have 2 friends now that actually sell, and they're nowhere near full time, but they do it as a hobby, and they're very happy with it, and it's got them spare gas money and the excitement of being a reseller.
Well, I think that's really, really cool. And first and foremost, like, it takes a lot of guts to go full time. I mean, people think it's glamorous and roses, and it is fun. I mean, like today, I went, I bought a storage unit, which I'll create a video with you guys probably tomorrow or the next day live. But I bought a storage unit, doctor's appointment, DMV, like stuff that you couldn't have done had you had a full time, hourly position, and I was able to do so. What happens if so World asked, is the customer service based here in the US or is it based somewhere else? Do you know?
It is based in the US. I don't know if they have a phone number or not. I've never spoken to them on the phone. It's only via email. So I've never had any major issues that I had to reach out to them besides the time that I got banned. And that was all via email and sending back and forth photos.
Do you think it's too late to start on Mercari?
No, definitely not. I don't think so. I think it's still growing, and especially with the new addition within the past 60 days of the FedEx, I think they're still moving forward. And if you do pick up hard goods and you're that kind of seller, I would definitely recommend doing stuff on there because of the cheap shipping. I don't recommend putting designer up there. I mean, I think I just got lucky with the Ferragamos. I don't really know. They did sell for, I made $100 off of it, which I can't complain about because I bought them for myself. So I have seen Johnny Was on there for like $10 and it hadn't been bought and I snatched it up. So if you don't want to become a seller on Mercari, definitely become a sourcer of Mercari.
Oh, well, we have a statement from my amazing admin. He's got the blue wrench and he said, DMV fun. I'm assuming he has a big smile on his face because we took Cade, and I tell you what, you do not want to take a kid that's under 2 years old or even over 2 years old to the DMV. It was crazy. It was a lot. We were there for an hour and still didn't get anything done because they told us to come back with the vehicle, which is another whole story. But oh my gosh, it was incredible. Now, another question, is Mercari your only platform? No, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark. Do you sell on Amazon?
I do. I haven't sent in anything for a long time. I was doing FBA. I got discouraged with it because just wasn't finding anything. I wasn't sourcing in the right spot. I was seeing a whole bunch of people making a killing on it, Reezy, and a whole bunch of other people, and I said, I'm just going to stick with eBay. And eBay was really doing really well for me. And then it started slowing down. The summer slowed down. That's what everyone says. So I started trying to do Poshmark. And, I'm just kind of going with it. I'm seeing what works for me and seeing what sells on what different platform. And, I might go back to Amazon one day. But for me, it was a headache. I know there's a lot of money to be made there, but it's just not where I'm at right now.
Do you think it's important to be on multiple platforms when you're full-time to have money coming in multiple directions?
100%. You can't rely on it. It's the same thing as having a team. If you're working in corporate, you can't rely on one person to do all the work, the workhorse. You can't rely on eBay. If you don't have any sales on eBay, but you have full on Poshmark, like you're still making some kind of additional revenue.
Yeah, and
multiple revenue streams is great. I would never just stick to one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And by the way, Mercari 10%. That is pretty good. That's a pretty good, fee amount. And I honestly, it's funny, a couple of years ago, you didn't really hear a lot about Mercari. Now it's popping up, it's slowly getting popular, kind of like Poshmark,
Yeah. Have you guys heard of Depop? That's in the making.
Yeah.
I've sold a couple of things on there. Also, the shipping is very similar to that. I haven't sold only pottery on there. But the shipping is very similar. Both of them are US only, so no international sales there.
Does Mercari have any cool name or sounds that you get when you sell something?
Oh, well, they might, but I always have my phone on silent.
Oh.
Chat, so I just turn it off. But I know it does some kind of beep or something. But
yeah,
it pops up on your screen. It says "Ka-ching! Congratulations, your item sold." So you definitely know.
So I got a cool thing for you guys, a cool tip. And I'm not going to take credit for this tip. It was actually Christina Thrifts that came up with this. So the tip is she told me something and I can never get it out of my head. And I think it's such a cool thing. So what she said she does is she uses all the things that sell on Poshmark to pay down her debt. So the reason she started Poshmark was, to sell stuff, but also use that money to pay down her debt. So I think it's really cool to take, if you're on eBay and you're not on another platform, to come up with some goal, whether it's pay down debt or you want to buy a new car or down payment for a house, and use that platform primarily kind of like a savings account, but a way to generate money towards that goal. So if you're not selling on Mercari now, possibly if you have debt or if you have something that you want to do, start Mercari up and then cross-post your items and then keep that money towards something that will better you and your family and your life, and use it kind of as like a designated platform. I think that's really cool. Kind of like how I do Poshmark. So all my Poshmark sales goes towards my stock addiction of buying stock. And then, so I know I'm full-time, I've got to pay the bills. So eBay and Mercari will pay the bills, and then everything through Poshmark will then pay for my stock addiction of buying stock. So, that being said, by the way, guys, and Sarah, you should too. The app Robinhood gives you a free stock today. If you guys are not saving money or buying something to better your future, I'm not going to give you financial advice, but if you want a free actual share of a company today, you can use Robinhood. And if you want to be even more cool and use my link, because when you sign up for Robinhood, I get a free share and you get a free share, go to my Instagram. It's 4 links in my Instagram. You can click on my link through Robinhood, sign up, and you can get a free share. My buddy got a free share of Apple. I wasn't so lucky. I got like free shares of Sprint and Fitbit and some others. But anyways, guys, Robinhood's a completely free site. Doesn't cost you anything, and you can get a free share of stock. But that's my rants. Like, I guess my point is if you're not on Mercari, use that to better yourself and maybe pay it down your debt or whatever the case might be. Try other platforms. I know I'm going to get on it tomorrow and start listing stuff. And I'm going to keep you updated, Sarah. And who knows? Maybe I'll sell coffee mugs and stuff like that. You rock it. So what is Robinhood? All right, let me show you guys real quick here. Okay. One second. So I've got 2 Robinhood accounts. This is my smaller one. I've got 2 of them. So Robinhood, it's kind of like any other platform, Scotchtrade, E-Trade. It's a platform to buy and sell stock. Now, it's the first platform that actually offers buying and selling stock free. It's a 0 fee platform, other than if you want to upgrade to their like premium version. But so you guys can see on this account, I have $4,374. But all you do is when you sign up for Robinhood, you automatically get a free share. So Robinhood pays for a free share. There's no waiting to deduct that share. So you can actually take that share tomorrow if you wanted. And then, so if you sign up with a person that has a link, you get a free share, I get a free share. And then as you promote it, they get free shares. Now, people, the reason they get sketched out because you have to put in your social security number. But that is not anything abnormal, because if you make a bunch of money on Robinhood, they need to be able to tax you. So it's just like E-Trade or any of the other platforms when you sign up. So that being said, it's a cool thing. Can you cash out? Yes, you can cash out Robinhood same day. Anyways, we're getting off topic, but it was a rant. Sarah, you're getting it right. You're getting the gist of what I'm trying to say.
Got it.
Yes. All right. So real quick, before we end this, first of all, you have been amazing. I'm glad that we were able to talk to your amazing voice and see you and have this interview tonight. So tell me, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I've got my questions up here. That's why I was looking. But what is in store for you? Like, for the remainder of 2018, like, what's Sarah going to do full-time reselling? Like, what's some goals that you have?
to stop being lazy. And I don't budget when I go to the thrift store. I know if it's going to sell that I'll pick it up. So sometimes I'll pay $40, $50 an item and regret it later on. Not regret it, but just think, okay, maybe I shouldn't have spent so much this week thrifting and not listing. I always come out ahead. I know that I'm not going to lose money on items, but my goals are to list at least 25 things a day, every single day. And if I'm going to be busy on that day, like my mom's birthday or something, to have them drafted ahead of time and then launch them that day. That way the store is constantly, feeding the beast kind of thing. And to cross-post more items on Poshmark and Mercari, so I'm not just relying on eBay. eBay is my number one fan. But it's got a lot of competition and a lot of people are trying to stray away from it. I'm actually in a big fight with eBay right now. My bulk editing tool did not work for 48 days. So I had to go in and do everything manually, one by one. I went on vacation and I could not change my handling time. So I had over 500 listings, which is not a lot compared to you, but it took 4 hours. The poor girl on eBay did it for me, and she had to have me on hold the entire time because if she hung up the phone with me, we would lose each other. 4 hours. Ridiculous. So I strayed away when my bulk editing wasn't working. I had a lot of auctions that ended, didn't get bids, wanted to go and lower the price, relist, but I just became lazy. And that's why I started doing Poshmark and everything else because they weren't listening to me. I don't have a dedicated person, and most of the time the people had no idea what I was saying. I had 5 cases open at one point, and as of 2 days ago, they finally got my bulk edit. I had like 300 things in the unsold, and I just didn't care. So to start caring, realize that this is my full-time job, and really be more passionate into it, and just the 25 listings a day and trying to get that 60-day total up to where it was before I moved. Those are my goals for the rest of the year.
I think that's really, really cool. And it is sometimes hard to like keep focused. And, a lot of people, they love thrifting like myself, but they don't love listing. And that is the way you make money. You have to list. So if you are absolutely not you, Sarah, but those of you who are watching that don't like listing, you've got to find ways around listing, but still like getting the amount that you need up to make money. So think about like virtual assistants, possibly maybe somebody in your family that is living with you in the same household doesn't mind listing. And maybe you can work something out that way. My mom helps me list, and she loves listing. She loves sitting in front of the computer. She can do it for hours. So find people to help you for things that possibly you're lacking in. But guys, I just want to say I appreciate Sarah coming on here. We do have how many sales a day does she have on Mercari? I'm curious. It probably varies, right? Maybe a couple sales.
At least one a day, I would say. I also sell a lot of resale lots on there. If I go to the bins, I'll pick things up for super cheap and try to help out other resellers. I'll put a lot of 10 items up there for $3 a piece. They buy it for $30, and I'm making profit and not having to do anything. I literally just list the tags. So that's an easy way to make some money if you guys have the bins and you don't feel like doing all the work.
Yes. Yes. And I guess the biggest takeaway too is like people on Mercari are not taking it seriously like eBay. Like you've got to take it somewhat seriously, take good photos, good description, good titles to do any good on eBay. And I feel like Mercari, it's more like a relaxed environment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take nice, crisp, white photos, beautiful titles. The Mercari gods are going to shine down on me, give me a bunch of sales. And then I'm going to update Sarah, have her back on the show. I'll be the expert. She'll be the expert. We'll have something to talk about. And that's how it's going to go, guys. So I appreciate everybody coming. Sarah, give us one last thing. Give us words of inspiration. Could be reselling related, non-reselling related. What gets you out of bed? Give us some inspiration for this video.
Pieces of inspiration. Do not fail in your life. Make sure that you are happy in your mental state, emotional, whatever that may be. So don't be in a bad relationship. Don't think that you have to settle. This is your life, and your life is so short. So get out there and have fun with your everyday. There should be no bad days. And my other piece of advice is a reselling advice, is that something that really helped me is that I didn't want to list anymore. I was getting lazy on it, like I was saying, is that I only pick up things that I love. So there's times that I'll leave things. I know it could make me $20, but I know that I won't want to list it. I know it'll sit in a death pile. So I pick up things that make me happy that I would want to sell. So I hope that helps you guys.
Oh, it helps. And by the way, we have a comment. I love the Hustle shirts. I actually didn't know that until just now.
This is from Hustle Island. This is a freebie. All you have to do is pay shipping. I think they still are giving it away. You can get a book. You can do a monthly subscription. It's all about hustle, and there's different people out there doing all kinds of different stuff, reselling, all kinds of stuff. But Hustle Island, it's a complimentary shirt. I found it off Instagram. It's a whole community of people out there. They want you to wear the shirt when you're out and about and get the word out about hustle. And it's a good, I've actually seen somebody out with the same shirt that I had, and I was like, hey, I have that shirt too. It's a good networking.
Did you guys hug and get a handshake? Is there a Hustle handshake?
Something like that.
By the way, tell Mom I really appreciate her getting you on here.
I will.
If Mom is watching, Mom, you are amazing. Happy birthday. You have a lovely purse from your daughter. Really cool family. Guys, it's the reason why we have people like Sarah on here, is, you know, to spotlight them. I'm going to put, guys, if you're watching this after the fact and you're not watching live, I'm going to put Sarah's information below. I'm going to try to get her YouTube channel started. And by the way, guys, if you need soap or anything like that, Sarah knows where you can get it. So.
Yep, I got you.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully this helps. I will be on Mercari soon. I'll share my journey. We'll have Sarah back on. We'll do a Brady bunch of a few people. And I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.